When it comes to being busy, we know that you have to understand what your why is. That's number one. That's going to be the strongest undertone to you showing up and actually doing it. Set up my bike in my basement and just go crazy at 9-10 o'clock. So if the day just totally fell apart on whatever I was going to do, that was my saving grace. Even with 4 kids and all the things that are going on, I still have time. We have to schedule. Number one, it has to be on the calendar. If it's not going to be a priority.
If something standing between you and your happiness, it was for me. I had to face my depression and the constant negative self-talk. Therapy helped me realize I deserve to be happy. That's why this podcast is called I Choose Health, because I made the choice to heal and I want to share that with you. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. 60% of you who are watching this podcast are men. And brothers, it is time to take care of yourself. As a gift to you, we've partnered with BetterHelp as our sponsor to help you start your own healing journey. We all face moments when life feels overwhelming, whether it's stress, anxiety, or just feeling stuck. Talking to someone can make a real difference. And that's where our sponsor BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp offers professional online therapy that's convenient, affordable, and entirely on your schedule. You can connect with a licensed therapist by video, phone, or even chat, whatever works best for you. Let our sponsor BetterHelp support you on your journey to better mental health. You can get 10% off your first month by going to betterhelp.com/iChooseHealth. That's betterhelp.com/iChooseHealth for 10% off your first month. Take the first step toward feeling better today. All right, welcome back to the I Choose Health podcast. I'm your host, Stefan Lessie. Now, guys, today's guest is a man who wears many hats. He's a husband of 20 years, father to 4 amazing kids, world traveler, and a passionate health coach, helping busy professionals like ourselves reclaim their energy and confidence. He joins us to talk about what it really takes to prioritize your health while balancing family, work, and life on the go. And definitely, as you heard, being a husband and father to 4 wonderful kids, you know that he knows a thing or two about balancing health and fitness and, just the complicatedness of it all. Brian Parana, welcome to the I Choose Health podcast.
Thank you, Stefan, for having me. Really appreciate it.
I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. And I know that you've trained everyone from everyday parents to CrossFit champions.
Yeah.
What's your go-to strategy for staying in shape when life gets chaotic? And also, just share a story with us about that specific situation.
Yeah, definitely. Well, when it comes to being busy, we know that you have to understand what your why is. That's number one. That's going to be the strongest undertone to you showing up and actually doing it. In my career, there was times that different seasons of my life where I knew that if I didn't work out by this certain time frame, I just had to kiss it goodbye. It was a varying amounts of times, before 10 o'clock, before noon. At one point, I realized I could, if I wasn't able to get a workout in the day, I could use an app. I love biking. I've been an endurance athlete for a long time, CrossFit athlete. And now at 42, I just do a lot of just basic strength training and just keep as much muscle on the body as I can, right, as we get older. But I realized I could use this app called Zwift. It was a cycling, you became an avatar, and I could just set up my bike in my basement and just go crazy at 9-10 o'clock. So if the day just totally fell apart on whatever I was going to do, that was my saving grace. And now I book my time with my buddies to work out. I have a running buddy. I have workout buddies. We're going to work out with my middle school friend, Dan. He's got 4 kids too. And that's how we connect. We work out and we talk about family and life and all that. So that's for me, right? For me, it's an obvious priority. It's just who I am. And it's an extension of my identity. I take care of myself. But for my clients, they're taking care of a lot of other things in their world. And some of the real practical things that everyone knows, but they don't do is we have to schedule. Number one, it has to be on the calendar. If it's not going to be a priority. And so with clients, I actually will pause. And I think that's one of the powerful things is when someone works with me or just a coach in general, to get to slow down, to be able to see the opportunities that are actually there and not just throw your hands up. Well, I'm too busy. I don't have any time. Even with 4 kids and all the things that are going on, I still have time. I still waste time. So I can look at someone's calendar with them. I can get them to schedule time. I can get them to take bite-sized time to fit. Maybe John is a good example. John, we ended up getting him to go to Orange Theory Fitness because for him, that community, that time spot, the booking a spot on the calendar worked great. For Kathleen, it's going to walk with her friend and going to a park to do that, to check out of work, check out of daily responsibilities there. And so those are going to be some of the things. And yes, not every day you're going to actually get it done. But when you prioritize the health piece, you can put it into your day. And then lastly here is just, it has to be easy and manageable to fit in. If it's not, I always joke with people, hey, it looks like we're not going to send you for the marathon training program, the first weekend, right? Unless they want to run a marathon. But if they don't and they just want to lose some weight, that's probably not a good idea. Or let's not give you the 8-day-a-week strength training Arnold Schwarzenegger program, right? Especially if I'm talking to someone that hates going to the gym. I need to connect a positive engagement, a thought pattern, and experience that will get them to move closer to what their goals are and doing it in a way that's enjoyable. And that's always the first thing. So really is talking with people and helping them understand what's important, why it's important, and how do I get them to actually just do the things. Hey, you're going to go for a walk? Send me a picture of the landscape that you're there. Hey, you're going to the gym? Send me a selfie or something while you're in there working out. And these are these micro commitments that it can get people to make, to schedule, to go do, and to hopefully, if they don't already enjoy it in the future, that there's a positive connection with exercise and moving themselves.
And Brian, the thing that I'm hearing here is that you can really fit these things in if you know your why. So as you said, one, if you guys are listening, I would say write this down, the 3 things. 1, prioritize. And as long as you prioritize your health. And 2, schedule it. Make sure you're putting it into your schedule. And then 3, as Brian was sharing, make sure that it is something that is easy for you to fit into your schedule, something that's easy for you to do. And, in the previous episode, I discussed with Alicia Jameson, who's also the health coach, finding something that is really your thing that you would have no problem doing at different times.
Yes.
Right?
And we start there.
Yeah. But it's coming back to that idea of it being a why. Why are you trying to stay in shape, right? While you're a busy professional with kids. If you know what that why is, then you're going to obviously make sure to prioritize it, schedule it, and get it done. So, I want to move on. And I know that with a lot of people, one of the major goals that they have is weight loss. And one common mistake that busy professionals make when trying to lose weight, there's just so many mistakes that they make, and they're just a myriad of them. And I'm sure with you, with as many clients as you've worked with over time, you've seen that time and time again. So what are those common mistakes? Identify that for some of our, for those listening in our audience, and maybe allow them to see areas where they can improve as well.
Right. Well, let's just go through a list. We have fad diets. We've got the all or nothing approach. We've got the newest GLP-1s, but then that's just another form of phetamine or hydroxycut or some other pill. Yes, sure, the GLPs can be effective at losing weight, just like other things. But if that's the only change that you made to lose the weight, when you get done and off of it, will the weight stick or not? The weight loss stay there or not? And also there's a lot of evidence showing that it's just making you not hungry. You're not eating a lot of calories and you're losing a percentage of fat, but also a percentage of muscle. And great, you lost 40 pounds and 15 of it's muscle. That's not good. That is not good. You're going to end up just like a yo-yo dieter did in the 90s, where you end up gaining more weight back 6, 12 months, or hopefully at least a little longer, maybe 4 or 5 years. But you'll still have that undertone of, I don't know how to feed myself. I don't know how to fit it into my busy life, busy schedule. I would assure you, every single person that I've worked with is 4-letter word. We all love 4-letter words, right? All caps, BUSY, busy, right? They're the demands of this world, especially right now, trying to just keep up with just day-to-day living is tremendous. And we are blessed and honored to live in. The only reason I've been able to travel somewhere, we've been all 50 states, multiple countries, continents, even with all 4 of our kids, is because of modern technology and convenience of living, but it's also a trap. And people are falling into the trap of convenience, or the trap of marketing, or the trap of, this is just the easiest, most convenient thing that will show up at my door. And then I can eat a DoorDash. I can pay an extra $15 to have lukewarm food delivered to my door. Awesome. I'm glad that you spent that money for the convenience level, but it's not, the ROI isn't there. So those are some of the main ones that I see initially that are popping up, and humans, that they are busy. They're distracted. They're not planning or thinking about their food in a day. And they'll often, hey, I'm going to fast. I'm not going to eat till noon. Well, your noon lunch break just got scheduled over. And next thing you know, you're eating at 3. Well, you just went an extra 3 hours and you're hangry. You're going to eat whatever you can get your hands on. That's a human condition. And it's usually not an apple or some vegetables, right? It's going to be the pizza, the drive-through, the fast food, or whatever that's in the break room even.
When you say that, you feel like you have clients who will say that, and they will come into a session and they'll be like, hey, I've just had this situation happen, and, this is the only thing I could really get my hands on. I've been working from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And so, at 10 p.m., I'm eating all this food, but I haven't eaten for like 12 hours, right? So just also like share a story like that with us as well.
Yeah, I think of a client, let's see, Kathy. Kathy is in the above middle management. She's got a lot of attention. She's a bottleneck in a sense. Everyone goes to her with their problems and challenges. She's even gets her personal scheduled appointments scheduled over. Someone will try and take her dentist spot, or she's gonna get her hair did, and they literally will book over it. And with her, we really have to set boundaries around when she's available, when she's not. And Antoinette, girl, you need to leave at work at 5:30 at the latest. You're not getting paid to work after 5 o'clock. I understand that there's this mountain of things that need done always and forever. But unless you renegotiate your salary or whatever, or your timeline, they told you in the beginning, you're going to work from this time to this time, and this is how much we're going to pay you to get this work done. Then it's your job to figure out how to get the work done, whether it's you doing it, you delegating, you just not doing it because it's not relevant, and identifying those different aspects of work. And those are 2 very career-driven women. Or we can think of someone who's got a lot of kids, and there's this constant demand of mama, or dad on them. Literally right before this, I was playing a game of Exploding Kittens with my 2 younger kids, Maxwell and Emmeline. They're 12 and 10. I want to spend time with them in the summer, but also I have to straddle this work situation. Well, I got up at 8. I didn't have my first call till 9, so I got to sleep in just a little bit. I got on work. I did some other behind the scenes type activities, and then I went in and I ate, and I played and engaged with them for about 25 minutes before I had to come out here and jump on this. Now, when I get done with this, I have to go do other work things. I can't go back in there. And hopefully this afternoon, because it is a nice day, I'm going to try and swim with them, and then I'll get back into work, and then I'm going to wrap up the evening with some family time as well, and just being really scheduled and organized, and understanding that with parents, going back to the parent thing, we need to make sure that you define what is important. You set boundaries, you set space and limitation. The kids don't have to stare at a screen and be occupied that way. They can self-occupy, and either you have to teach them that or get them to understand it by just even forcing it sometimes. Like, no screens, you just get to play with your toys or an activity or make something up. Use your imagination. And oftentimes, I literally will tell my kids that. And just being silly, but I don't care what you do. Go stare at the sun or something, right? Now, I'm joking at that, but you need to go stare at a wall if that is what's going to occupy you, because the kids need to not just get bombarded with always having an activity. That's just not real life. Even if you've rewound it 20, 30, 100 plus years, that's not how we operated.
Brian, you've coached, hundreds, thousands of people. How do you help those clients manage expectations around results?
Wonderful. Great question. There's a simple question I always ask them. I say it's the key question is, did I enjoy myself? Especially when going into a social situation or a family event or activity, a birthday, a celebration at work. There's a million different ways that humans will bring food into the equation, right? Food is love, it's excitement, it's enjoyable, it's a time to share, but it's also sadness and anger and stress a lot of times that people can put those type of emotions on food as well. But what we need to make sure that we are doing is prioritizing the expectation of what they think. A lot of people want to lose 10 pounds and as fast as possible, but the reality is 1 to 2 pounds in a week is sustainable. 3 is amazing. 4 and more, we're overreaching. You can't expect to lose 4+ pounds, or you're going to be in a pretty hard, fast lifestyle in a sense with weight loss is concerned. And then when you pull the pendulum one way, and as soon as you let go, it can swing equal and opposite direction. We see that oftentimes. So we can't have this all or nothing type approach. We have to find a middle gear. We have to have set realistic expectations. Clay, I actually talked to this gentleman today. He's down almost 60 pounds since we started. This has been a couple months, right? It's been about 6, 7, 8 months in that time frame. He's a pilot. He flies for a living. He leaves his house for multiple days in a row. Sometimes he's packing his food, sometimes he's not. But when he comes home, it's a party. He gets a lot of social activity, engagement with his fiance, with his friends, and we would find these hiccups of when he would leave for a work trip. He would snack on this thing or not take advantage of the time at this thing, or the flight get delayed and he just lost his workout window. Or when he'd come home, he'd have these social engagements. But we have to plan around these things and think about what our actions are, so we get to the results. And they say that you control your actions, not the consequences. If your actions are speaking toward moving you in a healthy direction, that's the consequence. If you're constantly fumbling the ball, so to speak, then you're never going to get to the touchdown area, right? You're always having a setback. Now for Clay, he's actually going on a cruise. Literally in less than 3 or 4 days, he's going to leave. I asked him, what are your expectations on the cruise and what would you be really happy with after? We agreed that weight maintenance would be an amazing goal, and that's perfect. Yes, he wants to lose weight, but in this period, this window, this 5 days, if he can maintain his weight on a cruise, that is a significant win. And painting it in that light really helps Clay get a more realistic understanding of the process. And so in, say, 2 weeks from now, after he's gone through, if we've only lost 1 pound in 2 or 3 weeks, but he went on a cruise and he didn't gain a bunch of weight, that is a big win for him. Instead of in previous times, he would gain 5+ pounds on the cruise and then would have to spend the next 2 weeks trying to get rid of it.
So, I know that when people are in that process of losing weight or building muscle, what can happen a lot of times is that there's hunger level fluctuations that may be as a result of an increase in metabolism, an increase in movement. How do you typically work with clients when those hunger levels fluctuate? What are some good suggestions or tips for them to deal with those fluctuations in their hunger level?
Yeah, hunger. A lot of that can be just anecdotal. It can be triggered by just whatever's going on. In our modern society, you can drive to the closest gas station, probably within a mile of yourself, maybe a little farther if you're a little on the skirts in a sense, but you can buy 100,000 calories pretty darn quick. No one's starving. Not in at least any person I've ever talked to, right? They're not actually hungry. In a sense, they have all these other reasons of how or why they're reacting and interacting with food, because of stress, because of joy, because of they got done with a workout, because they've just been sitting and not paying attention and scrolling or Netflix and chill, and they said, I'm hungry, I need to eat food. I see this in even my own son. I'm hungry. No, you're not. You haven't really been doing anything. You drink some water, let's have a piece of fruit or some vegetables, and let's move on. And that can be, at brass tacks, a really basic way to respond to that, to push off the hunger, to fill you up just enough to feel content. But then also, we have to have real conversations about why the hunger is getting triggered in the first place. Did you just poor planning, you haven't eaten all day, or there is a lot of stress in your life that is causing this bubbling up of hunger as the expression of whatever you're dealing with? And that's where I believe true coaching is going to lie, especially moving forward, right? With the GLP-1s, we have AI. You can go get yourself a 12-week workout and nutrition program. But are you actually going to follow it? Are you going to stay supported, accountable, and figure out where these small little time chunks in your day, or these small triggers you don't realize are tripping you up, causing you to get the hunger in the first place? So the simple answer is drink 20 ounces of water, have a piece of fruit or some veggies. You'll be fine until your next meal. 9 times out of 10. That'd be the easiest takeaway there. But all the other stuff, there's a lot going on for individual people.
So, one thing that's definitely very common for people is, maybe there's a shift in the schedule, right? Like even for myself, I just had a shift, and I'm pretty much staying in the same career, but, also gonna be working a new job. So I know with 4 kids and a full client roster, I know that, you're busy. How do you help clients stay on track when their schedules shift?
We go back to the very first thing you said, remind them of their why. Why is this important? Remind them of scheduling these things, but also then just get those simple buy-ins. Stefan, with your new schedule in hand, when are your opportunities to work out? For how long is it going to take for you to get acclimated to the new schedule? What are you doing for lunch? What are you doing for breakfast? These are basic things that have to happen every day. What are you going to be doing for dinner? When are you doing social type situations? When are you doing basic life things? Dishes, laundry, all these things. Like literally just having a basic conversation like that can really help people, again, slow down to come up with a solution that makes sense for them to actually implement. Because at the end of the day, we can have these grand plans of this, that, and the other, but if we don't just think through a simple day-to-day structure around a new routine and stick to it, and whether you want to use the word discipline or not, I don't think that's necessarily even relevant, but this is the brass tacks. You have a certain time frames in the day you can eat. You have certain time frames in the day that you're working. You have certain times in the day that you are doing your free stuff, your life stuff. You have to schedule for them. That's it. And being accountable to it is probably the most important thing.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit because, there's schedule changes, but then there's, life situations that happen. And so I know that there are people who are maybe even in certain types of relationships, maybe even toxic relationships that are not really helpful to them. And maybe you've dealt with that, being a coach for so many years.
Yes.
How do you help clients who are in like toxic situations and they're still trying to stay on track with their health?
Right. It is a key question I ask in the beginning. of the conversation with a new person is, what does your social circle look like? Are they supportive? Do they live active, healthy lifestyles, or are they not? I need to know what type of an environment I'm stepping into. And when they say, yeah, they're really supportive and this and that, okay, great. That shouldn't be too much problem. But if I'm solo here, everyone, my partner always brings in candy or sweets or ice creams. Nobody wants to move their bodies. Everyone is negative and feel toxic. Well, then we have a completely different approach. Now, ultimately, a simple question I was asked is, who is responsible for taking care of you? And then everyone says, myself, right? It's my responsibility to take care of myself, and my outcome in life is directed by the way I think and the actions I take, the words I say, all that stuff. And so it doesn't really matter if you have a lot of people that are supportive or not. Sandy's someone, she's a healthy body weight, but she's got crazy high cholesterol and she's 60. She's flirting with a heart attack here, in a sense. And her social circle isn't as supportive. There's just smoking, there's drinking, there's just fast food in the environment. She's the one that has to cook all the meals because the other two people can't for whatever reason. So we just had to have some really hard conversations for her to determine where it's at. Is it going to change at all? Yes or no? If it is, okay, great. You can communicate the needs that you have. And there's going to be friction because it's a new behavior that these people aren't used to. That's so important to know and understand in any situation. When you decide to change, it's going to create some friction in your world because, say, I only know you as you, and the next time I see you, say we talk in a month, but you've made say like I knew you before you made the job change and then now, and maybe your schedule is a little more free before, and like, hey, let's hang out and stuff. She's like, well, I'm working then. I can't do that at that time. Can we do another time? And then all of a sudden I'm like, man, and, like it's just, he's doing this thing or whatever. And then, so there's this shift in relationship. Now, if for her, if she knows that the situation isn't going to change, then she has to make a decision. Am I going to work around it and just piece patch it together and make it work for me regardless of whatever the situation is? The example could be she cooked the food for everyone in the house. Maybe she needs to cook 2 meals, and that just be the solution. Not the ideal solution, but it's the solution to maintain whatever situation or relationships are in that situation. That's a real situation, not ideal, or is she just going to say, hey, this is what I'm making. You can eat it or not. I do that with my kids all the time. This is dinner. If you don't like it, I guess you can go hungry today. I'm playful about it, but yeah, I'm making balanced meals that are tasty, that are healthy. And sometimes you put too much rosemary in it or something. It's like, I don't know. It tastes pretty good to me. But no, you're not going off and having your own meal per se in this situation. What I made is very sufficient. It's healthy. It tastes good. It's just it's different. It's not what mom makes or something like that, as an example, that I have to deal with. So there's so many different ways. I gave you a number of different ideas, but it's really sometimes just having hard conversations with people to get them to decide what it is that they want the outcome to be ultimately. And I've literally had people create stronger relationships together because of them standing up for themselves finally and saying, hey, I want to take better care of myself. This is how I can do it. Can you step up and walk with me in this journey? But then also I've had people break up with situations because they realize that they've been stuck in this environment that does not serve them, and they don't have to. Just like even working, you don't have to go to a job that you hate every day. You're choosing to stay in that mode and that behavior, you can go find a grass is greener situation. I can't tell you how many times people have done that too, because they lose weight, they gain more confidence in themselves, they have more energy, and they feel more productive. They go look for better situations for their life, whether it's more money, a better job, career, better relationships, all sorts of different things happen. It's very cool.
So we are running a little bit short on time, but I just want to do a quick rapid fire question.
Yes, please.
So I want you to give us your best 10-second advice for the following questions.
All right.
So losing belly fat.
The calorie deficit.
All right. Eating healthy when traveling.
You can stop off at a gas station or at a fast food restaurant or a grocery store and still find healthy options there. You don't have to default to just getting a burger and fry combo.
Fitting workouts into a 10-minute window.
You would do basic repetition, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, 10 reps each for 10 minutes. You'll get a really good workout in that type of time frame and workout style. That'd be sufficient.
And then your top recovery tool for over 30 athletes.
Well, let's go with sleep is the obvious one. But I would say mobilizing, stretching, flexibility, foam rolling. The older I get, the more I need to pay attention to my mobility so I can stay functional at a higher level.
All right, Brian, I just want you to share with us where we can find you on social media so we can connect with you and also work with you as well.
Yeah, definitely. For health coaching, I hang my hat at brianparana.com, at Coach Brian Parana, all over the social medias. I have a men's group. It's a 100-day crucible, which I call The Call to Rise. And it's really about a fat loss. Let's lose 20, 30 pounds in the next 100 days, but also let's level up on a big level. Radical accountability, support, weekly challenges, quarterly assessments to hold your feet to the fire. And if that's interesting to you, that's at thecalltorise.com. And then lastly, for that, I have a 3-day fat loss protocol. They call it the Rise 72. It's a 3-day Kickstarter to help give you very step-by-step on food, on exercise, on some mindset type things too, to really get you reset. So I can share that at the Rise 72 protocol as well.
All right, Brian, thank you so much again. That's Brian Parana,
Thank you.
Our health coach, who's joining us today. Again, this is the I Choose Health podcast. I'm your host, Stefan Lessie.
Thank you.
Reminding you that choosing health is choosing power, possibility, and purpose.
Yes.
This week's choice is all about combining movement with community. Because sometimes the best way to stick to your health goals is to stop going at it alone. Research in the Journal of Social Sciences shows that people tend to mimic the exercise behaviors of those around them, meaning that training in a group naturally encourages you to push harder and stay consistent. Another study from the American Journal of Health Promotion found that participants in group fitness classes had a 26% increase in physical activity levels compared to those exercising solo. It's not just about accountability, it's about enjoyment. According to the British Journal of Sports Medicine, social exercise settings can lower stress, improve mood, and even enhance immune function thanks to increased endorphin release. Whether it's a local yoga class, a recreational soccer league, or a weekend hiking group, your challenge this week is to join something active with others. You'll find the motivation is contagious, the effort feels easier, and the fun will keep you coming back. Again, make health personal and make the choice to choose you.